Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Heaven on Earth. I am Michael, the Leo Mystic, and this is where I bring you the sacred mission of this week for the 10th until the 16th of February to bring light, love, and spirit here on Earth. And just came back from 3 weeks break, going to Guatemala, connecting with myself, Source, the Earth, and just, some good vacation. So that's why I've been off for a week or 3. And so we still have the sun in Aquarius, and this is giving us definitely, with that Uranus and Taurus, feel of the Aquarian age. And this is where we're being asked to stand up together, to connect together, to work with the new technologies of today. And I think Uranus is and Aquarius is about space. So it's interesting to see how the technologies of space are being developed. For sure, take an eye or keep an eye on that. But for us human beings, Uranus and Aquarius is also about finding new ways and challenging the status quo. And I think definitely we've been having that with, new ways of doing government, new ways of doing banks, and new technologies. And with Mercury in Pisces, being in the shadow period, this is spiritual conversations. Whatever we are doing, right? The sun in Aquarius means that it's coming alive in society. Society is, the spots are on society, spots are on the people and on how we connect. And it's interesting to see how we react with, for instance, being a storm in Belgium. How do people react? How do people connect? How do we live with that together? Or, how is Trump's impeachment trial? How are people, reacting on that? That's interesting to look at. The coronavirus came out, right? And it was interesting to see how people reacted and responded. And I think there's more and more things coming out like that, like, things that we've seen in the past, and it's not definitely something new, but they're coming more and more and faster, and it's just becoming more and more intense. And especially, I think when Pluto is going to come into Aquarius, that is going to become super intense. But we're just constantly being asked, how are we dealing with this on a global level? And Mercury, the conversationist, or how we speak and communicate, is in Pisces. And, that definitely at a very personal level takes with it a confusing aspect and an escapism, and especially being in the retrograde, we have to be very careful. But I think this opens up opportunities, especially because it is trining the nodes. Whatever the hell you get in of messages are so freaking important for your future and to release your past. These are meditative, very, very meditative times to get in contact with source, with future, with whatever message you are receiving of the future. You're literally like downloading so much beautiful stuff. And it's, and I do think, we're going to get some new chances, because since Mercury is in its shadow period and it's going to come back where it is right now, but the more you repeat something, the better. So you better start paying attention right now. But I do think, on a global level, with Sun in Aquarius being about interconnection, I think there can be some misunderstandings happening between people, miscommunication, and, the new normal, the new crazy, after the post-Pluto-Saturn conjunction, everything is just way more intense. Everything is way more, duty-oriented. Everything is way more spiritual, duty-oriented. And the split in consciousness between people is bigger and more intenser than ever. I do think that there is a lack of communication and there is a lack of understanding. But it is our duty, obviously on a very spiritual level, to really get in contact with whatever we can do, whatever messages we get. Now, Venus is the leading planet, right? It is in Aries right now, and it is way ahead of the pack. And so with the sun in Aquarius, this gets that, for me, it gets that Aquarian feel, in the sense that it is ahead of the crowd. It is, the earthly love and the feminine, the yin, is being asked to lead. It's to look ahead. And now, especially with squaring the nodes, this can be taken in a couple of ways. I think the first way is that just at a physical level or at a very, lower level, females and feminine qualities are being asked to lead, are being asked to step up. But it's conjunct Chiron, and this means that, if we look at the feminist culture, or if we look at females or women revolting and rebelling, which can definitely happen, they're actually like going through a pain, a wound of taking the lead, because they've been repressed, or it's, being emotional or letting love lead is not, has not been popular. But now it must happen in order to evolve, in order to grow, in order to take care of ourselves, in order to heal the collective, right? But, just doing that is awkward. Doing that feels painful. So, it is about putting love ahead. But at Venus in Aries, that's not easy. There's some rage behind it. There's some, pain to do that. But it's going to be important, and to feel that pain. I think Mercury that's what these messages will be all about. About how can you deal with this, and how can you heal it. And that's what we have to pay attention to. How can we let our love lead? How can we let our feminine, female warrior aspect lead? I definitely think that if we look at what Mars is doing in Sagittarius, it's about exploring, it's about getting out. And we have to take into account that Uranus, the planet of unexpectedness and ascending to the heavens and the collective, is still in the beginning degrees of Taurus. So it is closing up. It's the last week of Mars in Sag, and honestly, this is, this is good, because Mars is going to come into Capricorn. That in and of itself is going to be very exalted, very practical. Let's get down to business, and we're going to get a lot of shit done there. But just the Mars in Sag, whatever you explore, what new territory, what new philosophies, and just like that optimism, it's going to get rewarded on a very physical level, and we're going to feel it. Now, I do think it will bring with like a very unexpected, like, whoa, a surprise. But Mars and Uranus, being, Mars is not necessarily considered a very, benefic planet, in that sense that it's acute, it is infection, and Uranus is trauma. So I do think, we have to be careful in that sense. For too optimistic, for too over enthusiastic, that's going to lead to, Taurus is the human body, Taurus is the earth. So it could lead to a temporary acute pain, but whatever happens is really very freaking positive. But it's like, you're so over enthusiastic. Yeah, let's say that you're doing a trick, and for those who skate, or for those who learn new tricks with whatever you did. But let's take skateboarding for that matter. You gotta do some crazy stuff sometimes. You gotta jump off the roof, or do some crazy slides, some crazy tricks, and you fucking land that trick. But, you know, when you do that crazy stuff, it might lead, like, you land it, and then you might, like, after, like, maybe hit your head or something, or, you know, just, you do land it, but maybe your foot might land a little bit, and you might, like, twist your foot a little bit, and it might hurt. But you fucking landed that trick, or you did the crazy stuff, like you jumped something so far, you almost did it, and it's like, ah. So I think it's kind of that feel that's going on. Something very positive that is also happening is Jupiter sextiling Neptune. That in and of itself is very benefic. Jupiter in Capricorn, you know, being like very the authority, the business, you know, just like exalted. Sextile Neptune it's a very dutiful, spiritual, exalted time in that sense. So, you know, coming from, again, like, whatever you do, and it is from the highest good, it is, for me, Saturn and Neptune connected, or Saturn and Pisces, those two together is heaven on earth. You know, Capricorn is the ultimate God, is like the ultimate, you know, exaltation. It's bringing the light body and the physical body together. And I do think there are some rewards in that. And it just amplifies whatever Mercury gets of messages. But as long as we can let love lead, and I do think we will experience some wounds, but in overall, these are some beautiful times, especially in the beginning of the week with the moon in Virgo. You know, this is a humbleness. This is a service. We need to get down to work. And it is about becoming practical. It's about doing it. So, you know, if we can let love lead and feel the hurt, get down the messages in order what to do. We'll get instructions as to what to do. If we can listen, and if we can lead from the heart, and explore new territories, have faith and trust to get there, all will be well. All right? Especially in this crazy new world. See you when, well, next week. Much love. Be well.